Yes! Alrighty! What's up, everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for a rainy Saturday afternoon, May the 23rd, 2026. Thank you all for watching right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 6. This weekend sucks 9. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Show your love support to my other channels as well. Subscribe to them. Lots of content on those channels. Leave a comment on any one of those videos on my respective channels from the past, now, and in the future, Conan. But don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely with a baseball bat, and then Ozzy and Satan will come out and laugh at you and then eat your soul. Don't do it. Go to your dead channel and do that shit. Because you ain't gonna do it on mine. You don't like getting blocked? Then don't act like a complete jackass. And that's that. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that goddamn bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because you miss anything, you need to get slapped even more. Because you're SOL. You better know what that means. And if you don't know, you got problems. And that's that. And for our newbies out there, if you've never seen my channel before here on YouTube or on social media, then you need to subscribe because lots of good content. If you like wrestling, music, movies, sports, anything really, then you came to the right place. And when you do subscribe to my channels, we say thank you very much. And because this is a business, we say, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab the tasty cold one beside you or wherever it is. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. And if you like it, like I said, if you like it, great, then get out of here. Go watch something else or somebody else. Or just do something. Do something! Do something! Do something with your goddamn life. You morons. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So, once again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that other good stuff. And don't forget to hit that bell for more. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday afternoon, late Saturday afternoon, here in the Northeast, Memorial Day weekend continuing. Got 2 more days, and then back to work, fuckers. But, had a decent day yesterday. Today, raining like cats and dogs, getting a lot of rain today and tomorrow here in New York City. So, getting like almost 4 inches of rain all the way up till Monday morning, when finally this fucking rain ends. Maybe a little bit, it might stop a little bit tomorrow, but, it's gonna be raining a lot. Not great. A lot of people wanted to go to the beach this weekend here in the Northeast. Ain't gonna do it. All the way down to Florida it's raining, so you want to go to Florida, you could, because it might be on and off rain, but, you might have to watch out when you're at the beach with some thunder boomers and stuff like that, but shouldn't wash out your plans too much. And always stay in and watch some wrestling, or watch whatever you're gonna watch, but, yeah, not a great Memorial Day weekend for some of you guys. If you're on the West Coast, you're having a good time. And all that other good stuff. But try to make the most of your Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start of summer. We got basically 4 weeks left. We got about a little under a month to go before we hit summer, the greatest season in the world, basically. If you like winter, good for you, but I hate the winter. I hate it. I want to get out of the winter so I don't have to look at it anymore. And hopefully I don't have to look at it, and when I move away to a warmer state, I'll have to look at it for a while. The only thing I might have to worry about is hurricanes, tornadoes, maybe an earthquake or two. But we'll see what happens with that when I do eventually get out of New York City, which could be soon. Not now, but everything I'm going to say now is going to happen now. What happened to that, Peter? You missed it. But when will it be now? Soon. Now calm down. Get over there. Asshole. Sorry. But pretty soon, I will not be in Casa del Joseph anymore. I will be in a new Casa del Joseph, a warmer Casa del Joseph, but we'll see what happens with that in the next amount of time. Maybe a couple years, maybe. We'll see what happens with that. But hope you're having a great weekend. Try to make the most of it and enjoy. That's all I got to say about that. We got Saturday night's main event coming up in about an hour and a half from now. So it should be a great show. I'm not looking forward to it that much. I think we have 5 matches tonight. I think maybe 6. I think it's 5 matches basically. But got some decent matches. We got the Man, Becky Lynch, taking on Sol Ruka, the resident surfer girl. Not for the women's Intercontinental title. I mean, it was for the title, then it's not for the title. Then it's for the title, now it's not for the title. Make up your mind, you morons. So we'll see what happens to that. I think Sol Ruka's gonna snatch Becky's soul later on. We got that. Speaking of luck, we got a 6-woman tag team match. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, and Lexi taking on the baddies. Jade Cargill, Mia Yim, and B-Fab. See if they, if you saw Smackdown, which we'll get to in a minute, last night, Becky and Charlotte, not Becky, sorry, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, can it coexist? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they can do it again. Tonight, as Rhea's trying to get some revenge on Jade for what happened last night, and maybe we'll get to Italy in a minute, but we got that. Also, we got Pentagon Zero Miedo defending his men's Intercontinental title against All Ego, Ethan Page to the post. We got that, and a whole lot more tonight on Peacock with Saturday's main event from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Yep. Scare those corn dogs that, because a lot of corn in Indiana. So, hey, you want some corn? Maize. You call it corn. That's pretty much it. But, should be a decent show with that. And I'll be doing my predictions probably right after this video. So, speaking of this video, ladies and gentlemen, after almost 8 minutes of spiel, which you clipped, and I don't give a fuck, because that's all you can do, because you have no life. Do something with your life, please. But anyway, right now, ladies and gentlemen, right now, it is time on your Saturday afternoon, May the 23rd, 2026, right here on the Kill Demons channel. I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host, and it is time for your late and kinda out of date WWE Smackdown, or as I call it, Welpdown Review for last night, May the 22nd, 2026. And we are emanating from the legendary Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. Those hicks in Kentucky. No, they don't have Kentucky Fried Chicken there, or maybe they do. It's in Kentucky. Pretty much the epicenter of Kentucky Fried Chicken, where the Colonel lives. I don't know. Well, actually, it deals with that. I don't know. I don't care. We move on. I assume there's a bunch of Kentucky Fried Chicken franchises in Kentucky. If not, that's just wrong. But I digress. Alright, so this is the go-home show before tonight's Saturday Night's Main Event show, which is not really huge, but, I'm not looking forward to it. But, we got that. And we're also kind of finalizing, got a couple more matches for Clash in Italy, which is looking outstanding. Roman and Jacob, Tribal Combat, Oba and Brock, 2 Electric Boogaloo, Cody and Walter. Well, we don't know about that yet. Well, we'll talk about that in this video. And another match. We got 4 matches already, and probably a couple more to come on Monday Night Raw. We got a contract signing between Jacob and Roman. You know how those ended. Like the first one ended with Roman kind of going through a table and Jacob just annihilating him. We'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw this Monday night. And we'll see what happens. And that's that. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, our commentary team, as always, on Friday Night SmackDown. Well, It's Joe Tessitore and my good buddy who plays a mean electric twanger. That's electric guitar for you people at home. And that's my good buddy from England, because I have a few good buddies from England. Everybody else can suck my dick. And that's Bad News Reed Bennett. And Joe, I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. Yeah, pretty much. We move on with that. Alright, so we start off Smackdown with the opening recap of last week's contract signing between Cody, Cody, you bitch, no, and Walter. They got broken up by Royce Keys, Will Hobbs, who then later had a match for the number one contendership, and basically Walter won. You know, he kind of cheated to get the title shot. He still has to sign the contract, so we'll see if that happens on the show. Alright, so we see that, then we start the show off properly with Mommy Rhea Ripley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, My Brutality! But a great Motionless in White sings her out. Chills, you know. I get chills when that song comes on. Anyway. So, she talks about getting jumped by Jade and company last week. So, she says, Jade, me, and you, round 2, Electric Boogaloo, at Clash in Italy next Sunday afternoon. We got that. And then, the Queen, Charlotte Flair and Ms. Bliss, Alexa Bliss, Charlexa, they come out. Charlotte says we have a 6-woman tag team match coming up at Saturday Night's Main Event. But before that, you know, I want to talk to you. Do you want to know something? No, Alicia Edwards, get out of here. Anyway, so Charlotte's like, you know what? You know, why did you, why weren't you there to help us last week? Where were you? So Rhea's like, well, I was in Australia, mate, visiting my family, and then they start bickering. You know, it's like, oh, you're in Florida, you don't give a fuck, you're in Australia, you don't give a fuck about my, me, us, and anything. You're trying to form a wedge between us. You're trying to make me break up with my bestie and all that shit. And Rhea's like, shut this bitch up already. And then, well, 3 amazingly hot beaches, they come out. Fatal Influence, we got Jacy Jane. We have Lainey Reed and former woman, Fallon, don't call her, Dawn Henley. They all come out. Jacy starts laughing at them after getting some respect from the fans. Yeah, okay. So she laughs at the trio. It says, we take opportunities where they can. And I'm like, yep, probably be a 6-woman tag team match, right, player? Well, wrong, player. We get a regular tag team match, player. Out of that. And we move on with that. So, that's that. Alright, so we got Charlexa teaming up against, two members of Fatal Influence. So we have that. Alright, after that, if I can get my notes to work. After that, we get a look back at Hikurio Tama Tonga attacking Shinsuke Nakamura, putting him through a table last week after him and Mr. Tama Tonga, were talking, and, Shinsuke's still trying to get Tama Tonga to get away from the MFTs, kind of join him. Well, that ain't happening because Hikurio put him through a table last week, and then we saw Sono Ibuki getting taken out by Will Hobbs in the main event. We got that. That leads to Sono Ibuki. He won't let the MFTs talk about Hikulio's match with Shinsuke Nakamura coming up in a little bit. And then Will Hobbs, and your food is ready. Your food is ready. Will Hobbs comes in and starts yelling at Solo. Solo says, hey, you're the one who got all physical, not us. and you're gonna need someone to have your back. And so it's like, well, since I'm family, who could do it better than me? I'm like, wait a minute, what? So Solo's gonna be like Will Hobbs' protection? I don't think he needs protection. But it is what it is. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars, and we move on. Alright, then we go to the, further in the back. Lexi tells Charlotte that she's sick, and Charlotte's like, what do you mean sick? Were you injured or something? Well, I didn't hear about this. So Lexi's like, no, I'm sick and tired of you freaking pissing me off. So I went to Nick Aldis, and since I'm not medically cleared to compete because I'm sick, you and Mommy Rhea Ripley will be teaming up against Fatal Influence. And Charlotte's like, fuck! So, can they coexist? We'll see. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. Alright. Then after that, we get to Hikurio and Shinsuke Nakamura, which were great 8 years ago in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But Tala wasn't around 8 years ago. It was around in 2016-17 in New Japan, when Shinsuke was Intercontinental Champion before it got disintegrated. But sorry, we get all that and a whole lot more. So alright, so we have the MFTs there, Solo and Tama Tonga, the Wrestling Gremlin. Yeah. He hasn't said that in a while, but I'm doing it anyway. So they're at ringside. I'm like, yeah, they're probably gonna get involved. So he shoves Nakamura into the corner to start the match, which wasn't great, but so we move on with that. My notes just freaking froze as always. I gotta get a new program for my notes, because every time I do my videos on my thing. Of course they won. Fucking Mets lost 4-1. Fuck. That's what happens when you have garbage Freddie Peralta who can't pitch anymore. Pitching. Mets can only muster a stinking fucking run. I mean, Soto hit a bomb yesterday. Looked like they were about to win, and then that garbage fake tribal chief Shomanaya comes in, fucks it up. And then the bullpen, as always, fucks it up even more. So, Mets are now 1.5 games back of the Marlins. They're kind of going back and forth between 4th place. Now the Mets are back in last place. 1.5 games back of the, pretty much 1.5 games back of the Marlins for 4th place. And that's pretty much it. So, not a good day to be a Met fan. Yankees were rained out. They got a split doubleheader coming up in the end of September at that construction site. Since they play tomorrow, probably won't be playing tomorrow either. I know the Mets got Cincinnati on Monday. Don't know. Maybe they might get that game in because it's a night game. So they got 3 games against Cincinnati at home, and then they got Miami. Oh, they got the Fish again. But this time in Citi Field next weekend. See what happens. We shall pretty much see what happens with that. All right, let me try to get my computer to work, because now it's just crashing on me. So, and now I can't get my notes to come back. I'm just talking on my ass right now. All right, we got that now. Let's Alright, so we're getting there. My computer's ancient, as we all know. So, and that's that. But anyway, minus that, I'll try to do this off the top of my head. Solo got involved in the match with Tama Tonga, with Tala and Shinsuke. Tala won with the choke slam. And that was it. And then after the match, Solo gets in the ring and kind of was mad at Shinsuke because I think Shinsuke kicked him in the head. You know, near the end of the match because Solo got on the apron to try to cause a distraction. And Shinsuke's like, whoa, kick to head. Kicked him in the head. Knocked him out. Or knocked him off the apron. And then pretty much turned around. He coolio choke slammed him 1, 2, 3. That was that. And then, like I said, after the match, Solo gets back in the ring. He's all mad. He's like, get him up! Son of a bitch, get him up! So he's about to go for the Samoan spike. And then Tama Tonga stopped him. And Solo's like, what the fuck are you doing? So I'm like, is Tama Tonga turning face? Is he going to help his old friend Shinsuke? And be done with the MFTs? No! Because Tama Tonga's like, I'm gonna do this myself. Hits the hidden blade, basically, or the spirit gun, technically. So he hits that, lays out Shinsuke. I'm like, well, basically you get the old whale. And that's it. So you thought Tama Tonga was gonna turn face? No, he swerved us, bro. I mean, pick a side here now, dude. Pick a side, please. Either gonna help your old friend Shinsuke, or you're gonna be stuck in pretty much purgatory with Solo and company. But now, I mean, Solo now, you know, he's like, I'm gonna go to Nick Aldis, and we're gonna try to get a tag team title shot against Priest and Truth, the Dark Truth. So, looks like Solo and Tama are gonna team up. You know, Cody'S still there. They might get the tag team titles now. Now, maybe the MFTs are kind of getting a nice little push back up the tag team division. But, still, it's done. So, we get that. Alright, so, under 9.5 minutes match. And, like I said, Tala wins with the choke slam. And then afterwards, Tama Tonga laid him out. And then Poppy Priest comes out with a chair and pretty much scares off the MFTs. And then later on, we find out that Poppy Priest is going to be taking on Tama Tonga. We'll see how that goes. And we move on. Alright, they'll get a video for Roman Jacob 2 Electric Boogaloo Tribal Combat at Clash in Italy. And that's that. Alright, then we go to Nicholas Aldis' office. And he's talking, and who should come in but the undisputed champion, Cody! So Cody comes in to see. He's like, you rang, you rang, like Lurch, you rang, pretty much. And Cody and Nick Aldis said, you know, he's like, yeah, I wanted you to come in here. I wanted you to give Walter the contract to sign for Clash in Italy. And he says the match is already made, but Gunther has to still sign the contract to make it kind of official. And then, why did he come in? Sami Zayn comes in once again, because what happened last week. He's like, oh, I should be entitled to this, and this. And he tries to offer Cody some help with Walter. Cody's like, no, I don't need your help, Sammy. You're a loser, you're a bitch, you're an entitled prick. And then Sammy's all pissed off, starts yelling at Nick Aldis, like, hey, I demand all this shit! And then Cody comes back, like he heard it. Oh, what did you say? Can you say that in my good ear, sir? And Cody's like, oh, well, I know, I think Sammy's right, you know, he's entitled to have a match. Right here, later on in the show. So he says, well, you know, he's here. He wants a match. Let's give him a match. Well, since I'm here in the room, he has a match with me. I'll see you later, Sammy. Joy, we get to see Cody and Sammy. Boo! Nobody cares. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that boring segment. We'll move on. Alright, then Tama Tonga wants Poppy Priest, so I was like, alright. Gives him a match. We get that. Alright. After that, that's 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we go back to the ring finally, after a lot of talking. There's a little less talk, a lot more action on SmackDown. So, back to the ring we go for a Women's U.S. title open challenge. We have the beautiful champion. It's Tiffy time! Daddy! What? You see my match? Yes, you look beautiful and you kicked that girl's ass. I know, but that bitch, Nia Jax, always trying to hurt me, Daddy. Yeah. No, don't worry, Sunshine. She's just a woman. I don't care if she tried to beat me up. Yeah. It's okay, Sunshine. You could beat her up in your sleep. Now, here's my credit card. Now go out and buy something nice. And tell your boyfriend is still a bitch. Okay, Daddy. Yeah, her boyfriend's a douchebag. See, Tiff, you should have stayed with Marcel Berthel. How do you get rid... Marcel, how do you... I mean, he kind of upgraded. I have to be honest. He upgraded to, you know, much better look... Not much better looking, but... And much hotter. But, I mean, her and Tiffy, you know, are hot. But Marcel, you picked the winner, dude. I mean, hell, if he wants to go into the elevator and fucking make out and who knows what else in the elevator and a fucking douchebag neighbor says, oh, gets all mad. Ow, what the fuck are you doing? Mind your business, bitch. That's what I say. It's like, go back in your house. Go back in your house or apartment and shut the fuck up. Let me live my life in my 20s or 30s or whatever how old Ludwig Spears is. He wants to make out and, you know, aggressively make out with his, I guess it was his wife, or not his wife, his girlfriend. Let him. Not your place. You know, people are like, ow, get a room. Yeah, we're going to the room. Go back in your house. Go back in your room, butthole. Don't worry about what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tap this fine Mexican ass. What are you gonna be doing? Jerking off to me, thinking about it. Probably. I mean, if I was Marcel, if I saw that, I'm Marcel Barthel's neighbor, and I saw them going into the elevator, you know, aggressively kissing each other, I'm like, well, they're gonna be fucking. And I wouldn't give a shit. And I know from experience because when I used to live in Washington Heights, I had a roommate that was fucking her man. I heard it sometimes. Me and the missus heard it. A couple of times. We were in the kitchen, next thing you know, we were in, we're in the guy just like banging the chick, making noises, and I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? We're gonna go in and tell them to stop? We're trying to eat here? We're trying to sleep? Well, fuck that. We'll make noise. You wanna make noises and try to ruin our sleep? Well, we're gonna start fucking and we're gonna go louder. What are you gonna do? Shut up! To that fucking neighbor, I got 2 words for you. I got 3 words, really. Fuck you, man! And really, Marcel should have not even done anything. Should have never even put his hands on him and commit battery. You know, because he went to jail, got bonded out. $1,000 bond, which is nothing. That's a nothing bond. And now, you know, he can go to Mexico. I assume he can go domestically. He can go to Clash in Italy or Paris or wherever he can go. I assume he's going to have a court date coming up probably in the next couple months. You know how courts down there in Florida are all tied up. So. But he's going to have a court date probably to see what happens, but if he gets any further charges, which I doubt. And WWE ain't going to do anything. I mean, yeah, they canceled his thing on Thursday night. That whole celebration for him in Mexico. It was supposed to happen Thursday, but since this whole thing came out on Wednesday, they're like, you know what? No, we're going to cancel it tomorrow, but we're going to do it on Friday. And I saw the whole event. I was like, wow, they love him, and they love Marcel Barthel and down there in Mexico. Yeah, I know he fucked up, but it wasn't even a big fuck up. If he killed the guy, yeah, that's a fuck up. Then pretty much you're gone from WWE. Pretty much. I don't think he's gonna get, like, probably be like a slap on the wrist. He ain't gonna lose that. I doubt he's gonna lose that match next Saturday night at Noches de los Grandes. I mean, we'll see what happens tonight on Triple R, because they're gonna be announcing a new general manager. I wonder who that could be. Rey Mysterio. Gotta be Rey. I mean, who else could it be? We can put the Undertaker there. Alright, you could. Wonder how that would work. Like somebody gets him all mad, and he's about to fire the guy. You're fired. You wouldn't say like Vince would, like, you're fired. He'd probably just say, you're fired. Rest in peace. I can't do the eyeballs, because it freaks me out. Gives me a headache, too. My friend used to do it. I'm like, stop! Freaking me out! Not like the Macho Man freak out. Freak out, Macho Man, really serious, oh yeah! Yeah, Randy, you freak me out sometimes. See? Randy's texting me now. What? Leave me alone. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Randy's texting me. I'm not going to show it, obviously. I'm joking, of course. There's my sarcasm. So he's doing it again. Stop. Go away, Randy. No, it's just Rosa being annoying, so telling me to calm down. He's trying to take a little mini beauty sleep. But anyway, moving on. Where was I? Triple R tonight, new general manager, probably be Rey Mysterio. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody else, but it could be Undertaker. I doubt it, but we'll see. See what happens tonight. Alright, so Tiffany Stratton comes out for a Women's Open Challenge, and you think it was going to be Blake Monroe? Nope. Fucking Hunter. Anyway, Lash Legend, shit done. She comes out for the Open Challenge with her tag team partner, Nia Jax. And Lash cuts a promo, basically telling Tiffy, we're going to win the tag team titles back on Saturday, which is going to happen too. I hope so. I'm getting sick of Paige and Brie. They should just break them up because Nikki's about to come back. So they're going to turn on Paige. Like I care, but the Nostalgia Tour is going bye-bye. So they got that. And Lash's like, I'm going to become a double champion, get back my women's tag team title and become the U.S. champion. So anyway, it's also with Lash staring her down. Tiffy strikes away in the corner. Dropkick doesn't really do much to Lash, just stuns her. But a running version of the dropkick sends her to the outside. Tiffy hits a flippy nippity-doo, knocking her down, only for Lash to knock her back down. And then the Madam President, Chelsea Green, she comes out to cheer on Tiffy Tiff, because I have that little, whatever it is, little friendship-ish, whatever. Tiffy's not really thrilled about it. So she comes out, go to break, come back. Lash grabs a 1905 chinlock. Tiffy gets up, goes to charge into the ring post. Not a really good charge into the ring post. Because Lash just like, oh, I gotta, boom. Like, Tiffy kind of moved out of the way really late, almost. Like, box central. But whatever. Alright, so it hits the ring post. Tiffy, with a handspring elbow, got 10 for the Russian judge. And a handspring stunner, inventive. They get near falls, and a Hurricane Rana sends Lash into the corner, where she comes right back with one hell of a power bomb. Goes for the Lash extension that got counted into a crucifix bomb for a near fall for Tiffy. And then Nia Jax has to be kicked away by Chelsea Green, going after her, right behind the referee's back. And Lash then hits a pump kick right to the face. Right to the face of Tiffy, knocking her pretty much the fuck out. And then she grabs Chelsea Green, and which allowed Tiffy to come out of her daze and get a fruit roll up 1, 2, 3 in 9 minutes, and still your Women's United States Champion Tiffany Stratton in 9 minutes. Daddy! What? I won! I know. You need to tell me that I watched. Yeah, but I didn't need that bitch that freaking helped me. She didn't really do much, but she helped. At least you got the win. A win is a win, darling. Yeah, I know, but I still don't need that bitch. I don't either. I agree with Tiffy. She don't need Chelsea Green. But still, Blake Monroe should have been out there in that match. I don't know why she just did a freaking segment with Chelsea Green and left. What was that about? But we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so the match itself was 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go in the back. Nick Aldis talks to some stagehand, talking about the building having a power outage. Maybe there was a storm outside, I don't know. It's coming from some room. So we go into this room. Basically, it's Dexter's... Mr. Danhausen! I will curse you. So we go into his laboratory. He's still doing experiments. And then Nicole's like, what are you doing? We have a live show going on here, and you're playing with your freaking toys. That's where the power outage is coming from. So Mr. Dano's like, I'm just doing science experiments. So then we see like a few explosions, little sparks coming out. And then Nicholas he turns around after one of the explosions, and then Mr. Danhouse is not even there. Then he sees a stretcher basically with looks like somebody's under there. So he goes like, what's underneath this little thing? And then we hear Mr. Danhausen go, don't touch that! I wonder who it could be. I mean, it's not Omos, because it doesn't look like Omos. I mean, a big guy underneath that freaking sheet. Who knows who it is? Maybe it's Ilya Dragunov. We haven't seen him in a while. I guess we'll find out next week. This whole thing with Danhausen and his experiments feels like an updated version of Dexter's Laboratory with some shit. The real life version of Dexter's Laboratory. Oh, now all we need is Dee Dee or something like that. We need some chick to be Dee Dee. Well, you had Nikki Cross. That could have worked. Dee Dee, do not push the button. You have no idea what does. Maybe they would have done that Grandpa episode. Grandpa, I am not Grandpa. Grandpa, I am not Grandpa. Grandpa, I am not Grandpa. Grandpa, yes. I love that. That episode is funny. It's hilarious. What it is. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we see Danhausen uncursing the New York Knicks, who are up 2-0 in their best-of-7 series of the Eastern Conference Finals, who are now on a 9-game winning streak. And they got Game 3 tonight in Cleveland. Guess who wins that one tonight? Probably the Knicks. Knicks are going to probably sweep, and probably, it could happen, face Oklahoma City in the NBA Finals and lose. Oklahoma City's up 2-1. They won Wednesday night. I think it was in San Antonio. I think. But, yeah, that series is 2-1 right now. Yeah, no, they won last night, so it's 2-1 now. So Game 4 will be, Game 4 is tomorrow. So by the end of next week, we're gonna get our NBA Finals, most likely. But I think the NBA Finals start beginning of June. So, I'm thinking it's going to be the Knicks and OKC, unless the Spurs come back in the series and win the series. We get a NBA Cup rematch where the Knicks won that garbage piece of tin, which don't mean shit. But hey, you never know. The Cavs can come back and win this thing. I don't see it, but you never know. I went on Mr. Danhouse's Twitter machine, and he's kind of mad at Jalen Brunson because he doesn't want to split the NBA ring with him. So I went on, I left a tweet saying, hey, maybe you should curse him instead of the Knicks. Fuck Jalen Brunson at this point. I care less. I care less about the Knicks. If they win a title, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. About fucking time. 44 goddamn years. Kind of feels like the Rangers from 1940, you know? It took them 54 years to win a title. You know? And I was there for that, too. Not 1940, obviously, 1994. They won on the night of my high school prom. You think I'm going to the prom? Fuck no! Not that I had a date anyway. If I had a date, I'm like, no, we're not going to the prom. We're going to the Ranger game. But I want to have my prom. You're going to have your after prom after the Rangers win the Stanley Cup, huh? I'm going to fill you with champagne. Shit. Not that I wouldn't even want to go to my prom anyway. Even if I had a date or didn't have a date, I probably might have went, but I'm like, if it was the same night as the fucking Ranger game, I'm like, I don't think we're gonna go. I don't think I'm going, dude. Sorry, babe. You know, go with some other douche. You know, sucks. I'm not a cheap date or anything, but, you know, you got a Game 7, you go to that Game 7 if it's in New York City or wherever you may be. Fuck the prom. Day after the prom, everybody in my school came in. Let's go Rangers! Every fucking period from 8 a.m. to like 2 p.m. Figure security, the school security guards are like, what the fuck is going on? It felt like a riot. Kind of had that one. I forgot what. I was in my junior year or my sophomore year. Senior year, when the whole Rodney King riots happened. I was there for that. I was going to class. I was going to class, and then I look out the window. There's like a mob of fucking people outside. It's like, holy shit! And I had to go home. I'm going out. I'm going to find my way out of here. I'm not going to get beat up. So I went out a back entrance and went home. I was like, fuck that. Because I think a lot of black kids were coming out trying to beat up all the white kids and shit. I'm like, Not that I would have cared, because I had a lot of black friends in high school, you know. It was a stupid fucking thing, but you know, that's a sign of the times back in the 90s. The shittiest decade ever. If you like the 90s, I mean, good for you. I like the 80s. 80s were the best decade ever. Great music, great movies. I mean, yeah, the 90s had, you know, gangster rap, you know, Biggie and Tupac and shit like that. You know, kind of the end of metal, the birth of grunge, which lasted, like 4 years? And then the birth of, Lamb of God and Nickelback and Kid Rock. Limp Dick Biscuit. Bands like that. Going into the 2000s with the rebirth of the new wave of British heavy metal. Or the new wave of metal. You know, bands like Slipknot started coming out, and then eventually In This Moment comes around in 2005. Even really 2006. But metal was reborn in like 1997, 98. They're just like, oh, we're gonna take a hiatus for about 10 years. You know, because Priest comes out with Painkiller! You know, that great album that it was. Pantera comes around. Not that it was metal, but it was like groove metal. At the time, it was labeled groove metal. It was metal. Ozzy comes out with No More Tears, and then Osmosis. Great album. Still kicked ass. Metallica coming out with the Black Album around that time. Guns N' Roses, that tour. Oh, don't get me started with that tour. Where James looked like the Olympic torch when he got set on fire. And then the whole Montreal incident with Guns N' Roses. Coming out 2-3 songs left because my voice. And then everybody in Montreal started a fucking riot. While James is going to the hospital, freaking burnt to a crisp, looking like a toxic Avenger. Right after that, and that was on the Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 tour for Guns N' Roses. Pretty much after that tour, after that incident, they went down and Metallica kind of went whoop. They went up and then it kind of slipped a little bit when they cut their hair for Load and Reload. Still, great albums. A lot of people was like, Load sucks. How? Got banger songs. Reload has banger songs on it. Memory Remains, 2x4, Ain't My Bitch. I didn't really like Until It Sleeps because it was like, what is this? Good song, but, it fuels on Reload. So many banger songs on both albums. They just remade it. Something like that. We move on. Alright, let me finish this up. We see Mr. Danhausen on Curse of the Knicks. Who gives a shit? Game 3 tonight for the Knicks. We'll see. Probably go up 3 games to none. So it's pretty much over. Cavs should have won Game 1. It should be at 1-1 right now, not 2-0. But Mr. Danhausen comes out, curses the Cavs. You know that's going to work. That too. Excuse me. We move on. Alright, so that leads to Kathy Kelly in the back, wearing no shoes, by the way. Lovely feet. Eat defeat. Alright, so we got The Miz and Kit Wilson in the back. They don't care about what's in Mr. Danhausen's laboratory. They pretty much Miz is like, there is no Cass! And he's wearing a shirt. I think Kit Wilson had one on. So Miz complains that, Kathy Kelly brings up the Cavs getting cursed in their playoff series, and we saw Miz sitting at courtside in MSG. I didn't even know he was there. Sitting courtside for Game 3 and possible Game 4. So Kathy's like, why aren't you sitting courtside? So the fans like, ooh! And Miz like, shut the fuck up. There is no Cass! And then Fraxium, Ben Frazier, and A-Kid, they come up, mock the idea of a curse going on, and then Miz like, alright, you and me, A-Kid, next week. I'm like, okay, do I really want to see that match? No. Thankfully, 1 more month of 3-hour Smackdown, and then I don't have to look at it anymore for 3 fucking hours until January. Ugh, I can't stand 3-hour Smackdowns. They are too long and boring. That's that. Alright, something better. And I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Now, something better. Chick Winnie Shamon, the U.S. champ, and his good buddy Little Yachty. They come out. They mock The Miz for losing last week with Little Yachty putting down Miz's accomplishments. Trick's like 7-time tag team champion. Yachty's like 7 times it was carried. Then they talk about Miz's small balls later on. No, it didn't during that segment last week. And then, Carmelo Hayes, the man who shoots and, well, sometimes he misses. He comes out. I was like, oh yeah, we're getting Trick Mello, baby. At Clash in Italy. No. We get it. We got it last night for free. And it was a great match. But anyway, Mello praises what Trick has done. But the fans want to see them go at it for the U.S. title. Yanni says, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Trick has a busy schedule, he has to get his hair done and all those other shit. So Melo's like, can anyone understand what this guy is saying? What is this, rush hour? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Man, nobody understands what the hell you're saying. Nobody understands the words that are coming out of your mouth. Fool. Anyway, so Melo brings up Trick always being better, playing second fiddle. That got Trick mad, and he makes the match for right here, right now. But we didn't really find out if it was actually for the title. I mean, clarification, please. So I gave that part 3.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get to the match. Went almost 13 and a half minutes. Great match. I'm going to get near the end. Trick goes for the trick shot, gets counted to the first 48 for a very near fall. Go to the outside where Absolute Ricky Starks, who came out earlier, sneered at Melo. He gets knocked down. They get back in. And Melo rolls up Trick Willie, but the referee is trying to, deal with Ricky Sage, who got on the apron and started yelling at Trick, like, fuck you, And the referee's like, get down! But anyway, so Melo had to deal with that, but then he turned around and walked right into the trick shot. 1, 2, 3, Melo gets the win. Probably be a triple threat for the men's U.S. title. Maybe a clash in Italy. I mean, we'll see. I'd rather that be one-on-one, but maybe we get that at Night of Champions, and we will see. But good match though with Melo and Trick. So maybe round 2, Lucky Boogaloo, coming up probably in July or August. Well, maybe at Night of Champions, and then maybe if not Night of Champions, most likely at SummerSlam. Get that. But good match. 3.25 out of 5 stars for that, too. Let me move on. Alright, then we see Sami Zayn. He's pissed off in the back, knocking over poor, harmless, freaking water bottles again. Those water bottles had a family, Then he runs into, Mr. Plank himself, Johnny Gargano, who's still a mute. Still lying on the Anvil case. And Sami talks about how things have changed as of late. But him and Johnny Gargano have never changed. So then he leaves, and then Gargano just boop, he knocks over a freaking water bottle with his pinky, with his little finger. And then that was it. I'm like, okay. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then further in the back, we see Ricky Starks talking to Kathy Kelly about what happened in the match with Melo and Trick. And then Melo jumps Ricky in the back, throws him into a bunch of production equipment, and then starts yelling at him, says, don't ever mess with me again, or some shit like that. So we get that. Moving on. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get a look at what happened on Monday Night Raw with Brock Lesnar attacking Oba Femi, setting up their rematch of rematches in Italy next Sunday. Round 2 Electric Boogaloo. Alright, we get that. Alright, then we get to the women's tag team match. Charlotte and Rhea Ripley taking on Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed with J.C. Jane at ringside. It was okay. We get near the end. A Razor's Edge, Chico. Something happened to this. Something happened to you, Chico. By Mommy Rhea Ripley, you got the hot tag. Hits Lainey Reed. Fallon Henley had to make the save on the pin. And then Rhea with a kind of faint super kick. I thought it was Lainey Reed kicked her off the apron. But Charlotte got hit by mistake. Oops. And then hits Lainey Reed with Riptide. But then we get a blind tag from Charlotte. She comes in, hits Natural Selection right in front of Mommy. Mom's like, fuck are you doing? And then she sees 1, 2, 3. Mom's like, oh, alright, whatever. So, under 11-minute match, Charlotte and Rhea kinda, sorta coexisted. I mean, we'll see what happens tonight in a six-woman tag team match with the baddies, and that's it. Match-wise, it was alright. 3 out of 5 stars. And that's it. And then afterwards, they're bickering, and then Lexi tries to calm things down, but then Jade, B-Fab, and Mishin take them all out. Jade hits Jaded on Rhea Ripley, laying them out. So we'll see what happens tonight in that 6-woman tag team match. And that's that. Alright, Cody's in the back, getting ready for his match against Sami Zayn, non-title. Would love to have Walter there in some type of way. Oh, he's going to be there, don't worry. We get that. That segment, 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we can look back at Roman, our tribal chief. Put up your ones, please. And Jacob Fatu, setting up tribal combat on Raw this last week. We're going to get a contract signed this week on Raw. See what happens with that. Alright, we have Jade Cargill and company ready for the 6-woman tag team match and prove how dominant they are. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Poppy Priest takes on Solo Mibuki with Tama Tonga and Ikulia at ringside. Pretty good match. Getting to the end, they get back up after a spinning Solo for a near fall by Solo. They get back up. Poppy Priest kicks him in the head, followed by a lifting downward spiral. And then Hikurio gets on the apron for a distraction, which leads to a boom Samoan spike on Poppy. 1, 2, 3. Solo gets the win. Not that I gave 2 craps, because I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. At the match, 3-on-1 beatdown, and then Will Hobbs comes in for the save. And then Poppy grab Will Hobbs by the throat. Uh-oh. And then Hobbs is like, "Hey, it's me, I was trying to help you! What are you doing? Stop!" And then Poppy's like, "Oh shit, I mean..." He just looked at him, we're like surprised, like he came out. Oh, we get that. Alright, then we get a Saturday night's main event rundown. The card's not looking that great. Feels like a freaking house show. We'll get that. Alright, we're in the back. Blake Monroe. Oh my. She makes her long-awaited debut. Doesn't really think much of Chelsea Green. She leaves, and then Nia, Jax, and Nice Legend jump. Chelsea lays her out. So maybe Nia faces Tiffy next week. I care less. We'll see what happens with that. I think Tiffy or Chelsea Green is going to come out tonight and cost them the tag team title. So I think we're going to get probably retain. I think Paige and Brie will retain. I hope not, but I mean, we'll see. All right, then we're in the back again. We're more in the back. Will Hobbs wants to know what Poppy's problem is. Poppy yells at him for getting his business. And it looks like we're gonna have an actual match next week in Barcelona, Spain, between Will Hobbs and Poppy. Big beefy man slapping meat in that match. I'm interested, as Roman would say. So we got that. Alright, so those 2 segments, 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's it. Then we go to a main event of Smackdown. Sami and Cody, non-title. Decent for under 12 minutes. We get near the end. Sami's knee was getting banged up most of the match. Cody hits another Cody cutter for another near fall. Then the banged up knee, I think by Cody had a bum knee. Uh-oh. Lets Sami grab the Blue Thunder Bomb. Well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Gets a near fall out of that. So we get a breather. Sami goes after the knee. Grabs the figure 4 leg lock. That goes reverse with a turn into the ropes for a little break. Cody gets up, hits the one-legged disaster kick. And then out of nowhere, Walter comes in from with the sleeper from the apron. The referee didn't see it. Sami knocks him down by accident. Oops. And then Cody with the Cody with Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win. Figured because he uses his Super Cena strength. So Cody gets the win over Sami, non-title. Figured that was going to happen. Because Sami's never going to win that big one. He's never going to become world champion ever. So, he's just mid-card for life, like Kevin Steen would tell you. But, it is what it is. So, good match though. 3 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Walter gets in the ring, puts a sleeper on Cody again, right in front of Sami. Sami's like, should I help him? Should I not? Should I help him? Fuck Cody. So he goes to leave. He walks away. Crowd's like, what the fuck, Sami? I'm like, good job, Sami. Good job. You don't need him. You don't need Jannetty. Fuck him. You see what that maniac did? That hypocrite? What a heinous move. That Jannetty jumped out the window to escape. You saw that? What are you, blind? Are you blind? Pretty much. That's that. Ow. Hurt myself doing that with my throat. Alright, so he walks away, and then Walter, putting Cody to sleep, night-night for Cody, he pretty much picks up the belt, holds it up. Sammy looks on from the aisleway to end the show. So I don't know what's going to happen there. We'll see what happens this Friday night on Smackdown from Barcelona, Spain, which most of us will see at 8 p.m., the normal time on Fox. If you have a VPN, you get to see it live around, I think, 1 or 2 o'clock. So, fire up that VPN for a little while. We're going overseas for a couple weeks. We're going to be in Italy on next Sunday. Next Monday's Raw, live at 2 p.m. on Netflix. The week after that, 2 p.m. on Netflix, because we're going to France. Smackdown, I think, is going to be in France on next Friday night. Not this Friday, next Friday. That's, June the 5th. June the 5th, we're going to be in, I think, France. I think June the 12th, we're back in the States, I think. So yeah, so we got a couple of Smackdowns going to be preempted, pretty much tape delay. Unless you have a VPN, you get to watch it early, which I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I'll probably be watching it, and I might do Smackdown spoilers for you people. So when I do my review, it'll be spoiler edition. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. As far as Raw goes, I'll watch the first hour, then I'll rewatch the rest of it, then do my review, hopefully the same night, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so that ends Smackdown. Was alright. Not a great show, but it is what it is. So I gave Smackdown standard 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's pretty much it. Alright, gonna go right into my next video on the Shadow Slayer 2.0 channel, episode 114 of the Shadow Slayer 2.0 series. Saturday night's main event, predictions, and then we'll talk about Saturday night's main event tomorrow. We're gonna talk about NXT tonight, talk about AEW tomorrow, along with the predictions for Double or Nothing. I'll try to get Saturday night's main event up before the pay-per-view starts, and then we'll talk about Double or Nothing early Monday on Memorial Day, and then that'll be it. And then we'll get ready for Monday Night Raw, the final Raw, domestic, here in the States, until, like, 2 weeks. So, we got that. Alright, guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your Saturday, now Saturday evening. So, we got another hour and a half here in New York City before it gets dark. So, have a great rest of your Saturday evening and Saturday night. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Be safe, be well. Stay out of the rain here in the Northeast. Still raining like crazy for another day and a half, another 2 days basically. So, not going anywhere. My plans are pretty much shot. I went out last night. That was it. Tonight, staying in, watching Saturday's main event. Gonna watch Triple R with the missus. And then Sunday, we're watching Double or Nothing. And then Monday, we might go out Monday for like a mini barbecue. And it's supposed to clear up Monday afternoon. So, probably go to a little mini barbecue with the family. And then that'll be it. I'll watch Raw when I get home. That's pretty much it. So, I'm going to enjoy my weekend. It's not the greatest weekend to go out or anything like that. But I'm trying to make the most of it. And that's that. So, once again, 7 out of 10 stars for Smackdown. Let me know what you guys think down below, and we'll talk about it. Alright, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.